Hello, Mr. Flying Bird. My name is Tim Wallace, and I am in your Business 187 group at San Jose State University. I understand that you are currently out of the country, and you need some help preparing for the upcoming exam. Today, my goal is to help you prepare for the Chapter 3 portion of the exam. The topics that we will be covering today are the political economy and the economic development of countries. The first thing that I want to teach to you is how we measure the economic development within a country. So, to understand economic development, we need to understand how it's measured. So, there are two primary factors that measure the economic development, and those factors are the gross national income and the purchasing power parity. First, I'll talk about gross national income. It's abbreviated GNI, and basically all it does is it measures the average income within a country. Now, the reason that we need to talk about the purchasing power parity, also called PPP, is because the gross national income doesn't account for the cost of goods within that country. So when we combine the GNI with the PPP, that's going to give us a pretty accurate measurement of the economic development within a country. It's important to note that when we're looking at GNI and PPP, that these measurements are both static. And by that, I mean that they don't consider the economic growth rates within countries. So if we take an example country like China, the GNI would ignore the fact that China is experiencing rapid economic growth. To help visualize the topics of GNI and PPP, I've provided this graph from worldbank.org. The countries at the top have a high gross national income and a high purchasing power, and countries at the bottom, such as China, have a relatively low purchasing power and gross national income. But this completely ignores that China is experiencing rapid economic growth, like I previously stated. When we only use measurements like gross national income and purchasing power parity to determine the economic development of the country, we ignore other factors such as what it's like to live there. To help fix this issue, there's a measurement called the Human Development Index, or the HDI. So the HDI measures factors that are not economic, such as level of education, life expectancy, and how well the average income will help meet the basic needs of life. Now that we understand the measurements of economic development, it's important that we understand how the political economy shapes economic development. So we need to look at the three general types of economies out there. And the first type is a market economy, the second type is a command economy, and the third type is a mixed economy. So a market economy is an economy with free markets that promotes capitalism and it promotes entrepreneurship and innovation. A command economy is a centrally planned economy and the government runs it. So the advantages to that would be high equality but very little freedom to go out and innovate and be an entrepreneur. And the third type is a mixed economy, which is where the government allows for private ownership, but implements a lot of regulations which make innovation much more challenging. In order to understand why a market economy is ideal for promoting innovation and entrepreneurship, we need to just take a quick glance at command economy and mixed economies. So a command economy, the government is in charge of everything, and therefore there's going to be high equality, but there's going to be very little incentive to go out there and innovate. So this is obviously a just crushing blow to economic growth. The next type of economy is a mixed economy, and this would be okay for innovation entrepreneurship, but the government imposes many regulations which make it nearly impossible for new ideas to emerge. Now that we see the obvious flaws in the command and mixed economies, we're left with a market economy as our best choice. This is because the market economy allows for freedom, which then allows for innovation and entrepreneurship. To recap the topics of Chapter 3, GNI, PPP, and HDI are common measurements of economic development. A political economy that promotes freedom and spurs innovation along with entrepreneurship is a market economy, and the political economy is generally responsible for the economic development within countries. Good luck on your exam, Mr. Flying Bird, and have a safe trip home.